right there. And 3, 2, and 1. Well, Mayor Wiza, welcome back to Mayor's Monday here at WSAU, WSAU.com. You were just telling me off the air before we started recording that you have a big announcement that you are going to make, and it is going to be exclusive right here on WSAU on this, Monday/Tuesday, because we have the Labor Day holiday.
Sure.
And you have a fast food restaurant coming to town that everybody is going to love. Tell us what it is.
Well, it's, we've been working on this for a long time. We had to throw a considerable amount of incentive in, but Chick-fil-A is the name that I'm going to drop.
Sweet.
And we're calling it the Michael Leichner subset of Chick-fil-A's. You're the only one that gets it. The drive-through is only open to you.
License plate technology and everything.
Right. We actually have a physical barricade. We paid extra for it. So nobody but you can get Chick-fil-A sandwiches here in Stevens Point.
I like it. I like it. In fact, I'm going to go get one right now. So this is over. Well, thank you, Mike. We appreciate your time always, and we'll look forward to.
Yeah, thanks for playing.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, seriously, what we should do is like they did in Coming to America. Instead of McDonald's, it'll be McDougal's. So we could do like a chicken filled hay. Or some play on words like that. Now, see, we're really getting into the weeds here, Mike.
We are really, yeah, indeed. And this is the only place that you get something like that here, a Coming to America reference, which I was not expecting to hear when I woke up this morning. So, Mayor Wiza, we always appreciate that.
They got the Big Mac. We got the Big Mick. You know how it goes.
Indeed. But, seriously, though, we do have a lot, actually, a lot of important stuff going on in Stevens Point, and we'll start out first off with 4 referendum questions going to voters in November. Give us the quick and dirty of what these are going to be and what residents are going to be voting on for transportation projects.
Sure. There's actually 5 total referendum questions from the city of Stevens Point. 4 of them are transportation related, and a direct result of the August referendum passing, which now requires the city to get a public vote on every transportation project greater than $1 million. The first one is going to be the recreational, adult recreational use of marijuana, separate, of course. Transportation should not be involved with adult recreational marijuana use. I just want to be very clear on that.
No, not at all.
So the referendum that passed in August now requires us to go to public vote on anything over $1 million. Well, our regular road repairs are more than $1 million. So we have road resurfacing, which it consists of several roads nowhere near Business 51. But the resurfacing means that we just take a small layer of asphalt off and we put a new small layer of asphalt on. We don't mess with the bed or anything underneath it. Generally, you get another 15-20 years out of it before it's ready for some more repairs. We're doing that. That's a little over $1 million, so that's got to go to a public referendum, even though we do it every year. The other one is road reconstruction. Road reconstruction is a little bit more involved. We actually pull all of the road off, all the road base, make sure that the utilities underneath are up to date, because once you build a new road, you certainly don't want to have to tear it up to fix a water pipe. So all of the utilities underneath get upgraded and replaced, and then new road mat, new base, and then a new road is built. That's about $2.6 million. But again, we do a section of town every year on this. If it weren't for the referendum in August, this stuff probably wouldn't even make news. However, we now need public vote on this in November, and council approved those questions last Monday. The other 2 transportation related questions are, I don't want to say an anomaly, because again, it's stuff we do all the time. However, we're working with developers out in our East Park Commerce Center, and we don't have developers agreements yet. So we don't have anything presenting to council. However, we anticipate we will in the next month or 2 or 3, whatever it happens to be. those developments are going to need some improvements. We're going to extend Badger Avenue, which we've been planning for years, but we weren't going to do it until we had a development. And that's from Double H up north. The other one is a rail sidetrack. So the railroad runs east-west through the city. We need a sidetrack to service some manufacturing and other facilities in our East Park Commerce Center. Well, again, we wouldn't normally put that in until we have a development that needs it. Well, we have both right now, but they're not set in stone yet. So we have to anticipate the need. And it's very likely that by spring, we're gonna have a developer's agreement on both of these. So what we have to do is get it on the ballot for November, because the next opportunity wouldn't be until April of 2023. And if we happen to miss that window, the next available wouldn't be until April of 2024, because the state statute requires us to have those referenda on a regular election. And there is no regular election in November of 23. So those 4 transportation projects will all be on the ballot for the November election. I can give you 100 reasons why we need to do this. I'm hoping that everybody understands this is kind of regular city business, and that bringing jobs and millions of dollars in new development to the city is important enough to help us out here. But we won't know until November whether or not we're able to fix any roads in the city in 2023. Now, some people would say, why wouldn't you just wait until the April election? Well, the problem there is every municipality is in the process of doing their budgets right now. And the process cycle is that we approve the budget in October. We write up the bids and send it out for bid in winter. Late winter, we approve the bids, and all of the contractors get those on the construction cycle, filling up their whole summer worth of work. If we can't even go to bid until April, everybody's calendars are already full. So either we're going to pay multiple times as much for the same project, or we're not going to get on the calendar for construction. So it's really important that these things go to ballot in November, so we don't miss an opportunity window to get these projects done.
Yeah, and I know you were accused of, at some of these meetings of providing, wishy-washy information, not getting the information out there in time. So I'll give you this opportunity to make sure you let people know where they can go to get information about these projects, because, well, yes, you would like to see them passed. In this case, they're going to the voters. So the voters need to inform themselves and make the best decision for as far as their interests go, correct?
Right. And we're planning on all of the things that we did for Business 51 and that referendum. We will have information on our website. We will have video discussions with the directors to talk about what these projects are and why they're important and why they are kind of routine. But we're also going to have more public meetings, Q&A sessions. So you might see us at Ruby Coffee one morning, just to sit and be available to answer questions. I know that some people didn't get what they felt was enough information on the original referendum in August. We do a lot of outreach, but unfortunately we can't hit everybody. But we're gonna try better, right? We try harder, and if there's something different that we can do, we're gonna give it a shot. So if anybody has ideas on how we might best reach you or your family or your friends, by all means contact my office. But same sorts of things. We're going to be doing interviews like we have here. We're going to be putting out our own informational videos. We'll have information on our website. None of this is available yet because the referendum questions were just approved last Monday. So we're really in a kind of a time crunch here. But I would expect by mid-September or so, we'll have this stuff available. Speaking of mid-September, we were asked by council at the last meeting to have another sit down with AECom and the Department of Transportation, myself, the directors, and allow the public to come in and just ask questions about Business 51. So we're going to be doing that. We don't have a date set there either, but that's going to be mid to late September. We're trying to find a venue that holds more than 100 people because I expect this to be a pretty good turnout. Same sort of thing though. It'll be Q&A. We'll have a presentation by the Department of Transportation. What can we do? What can't we do? What increases our chance of grants? What lessens our chance of grants? Talk with AECom. What does work in the design? What doesn't work in the design? Are there things we absolutely can do or absolutely cannot do? And try and get all of the questions answered. You know, with 27,000 people here in the city, or roughly, I would chance it to say many of them have different questions. So we're gonna try and answer all of those questions to the best of our ability. Obviously, it's too late to do anything significant, but we still have to redo Business 51. And when I say too late to do anything significant, I mean it's not going to affect the outcome of that April or August election. But we still have to redo Business 51. So we want to make sure and get all of the input, let people know what we can and can't do within the letter of the law and within the DOT standards, the minimum standards, as well as the DOT recommendations, and see if we can't come up with a design that's a little more palatable for everyone. I'm glad council finally chose to do that, and we'll be doing that again, as I said, mid-September.
And then regarding Business 51 at this time, have you ruled out, I know it was going to be a multi-year project, but have you ruled out just putting it into maybe 3 different phases and then putting those each 3 individual phase up for referendum? So maybe you've got more time to redesign some of the areas around the business side of the street, while maybe you get started in the residential area.
So generally, I would say no. It's still planned in 3 phases because there are really 3 distinct personalities or different environments of Business 51 in that whole 3-mile stretch. The first one that we're going to be looking at doing is the north part of Division Street. The reason we're looking at that one first is because that one can be funded through what we call tax incremental financing. Development within that district helps pay for infrastructure improvements within that district. So it's not my tax money or your tax money. It's the businesses in there that are generating the increment for us to do these projects. The second one is going to be that south side, because that's probably arguably the most pressing as far as road repair needs. And then of course the center section. It's going to be disruptive for the better part of a decade, because just like they did in Plover and Whiting, I mean, those construction projects take a while. So yeah, we're stretching that out over probably close to 10 or 12 years total. And we're still going to move in phases, but you also don't want to design one phase and stick to only that. You want it to flow. So it makes sense to get a good design for all 3 of the segments before you start work on any of them, because if they don't flow correctly, you're going to get a bottleneck. And if we go with a lane reduction, some people said we're going to get a bottleneck if we do the lane reduction in the middle. Well, if we do a lane reduction at all, we're going to get a bottleneck. As you come across the McDill Bridge, you will go from 4 lanes down to 3 lanes. So there's a bottleneck there too. All of these things need to be taken into consideration. Even though that's a Whiting project, we need to make sure that traffic can easily flow from Whiting into Stevens Point, or from Stevens Point into Whiting. I don't know if anybody does that though. Do they go from Stevens Point to somewhere else? I thought they all just came here.
You know, it's rare, but I've seen it happen.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
It's
like finding Bigfoot.
All one-way streets leading into Stevens Point. No streets leading out.
Yeah, it's like finding Bigfoot.
Yes.
But it does happen. So
I don't really get the reference, but that's okay, Michael. I'll roll with it.
It happens often with me when we're doing these. One more thing before we let you go. I know it's your favorite time of year, because the population of your city has gone up by about 800 to 1,000 people or so. Okay, 1,200.
Enrollment at UWSP is about 7,000.
Ooh.
Now that includes some Stevens Point residents year round,
and of course the incoming freshman class is what I was.
Just the incoming. Yes. Well, everyone's coming back,
but everyone. Well, again, once they get to UWSP, then they stay around. They work over the summer in Stevens Point. So, yeah, I guess that's where I was going. Yeah. But
but and it is. It's great to have a ton more people out. It stays pretty active even during the summer, but when school's back in session, because there's people out enjoying the sculpture park or the riverfront, downtown. The shops are more full. The sidewalks and streets are a little bit busier. It's kind of cool. But the thing we have to remember there too is it's not just the university students that are back, but all the other kids are back to school too.
Mhm.
So we need to be extra aware if we're out and about, whether you're walking, biking, motorcycles, cars. Be aware that there's a lot more people on the roads. Some of them, it's their first experiences in Stevens Point. Drive the speed limit, slow down, be attentive. I just heard of a woman driving right by the state police station today, swerving because she was texting on her phone. Don't do that. Don't text and drive. It can wait.
Oh, no.
And if you really need to, go buy one of the new cars with the Bluetooth connection. You can do a hands-free texting or talking, but pay attention. We've got a lot of people out there, and some of them are little kids who may not know that you are not going to stop for that stop sign or whatever it happens to be. So be careful on the roads, be aware, follow the rules, whether you're biking, walking, or driving a motor vehicle. Follow the rules of the road, and pay attention.
Indeed. And again, enjoy everything Stevens Point has to offer, because there is quite a bit of it, right?
Except the Chick-fil-A. That's all you, buddy.
Indeed. Indeed. We always appreciate the time, Mayor Wiza, and we'll look forward to chatting again next month.
All right. Take her easy.
Will do.